One of my family's favorite ways to eat peaches is in the form of peach freezer jam. And that's what we're going to be making today. It's a family favorite. The grandkids always ask for it first. They love it on anything. Biscuits, toast, whatever. Ice cream. We're going to make it today and you're going to see how easy it is. First thing we're going to do is peel those peaches, and I'm going to show you an easy way to do it. When I was growing up, my mama and my grandmama always peeled everything by hand. I don't know why they didn't know this little hack. Boil you some water, wash your peaches. You're going to drop those peaches down into your water. Make sure those peaches are ripe. Now we're only going to leave these in here for about 30 seconds. We don't want to cook the peaches. And then I'm going to be moving them over to another pan, and I'm supposed to have an ice bath, but I just threw some ice cubes. In a pan, and I'm hoping it's going to work. So let this water boil, make sure it's boiling. We'll leave them in here for about 30 seconds to a minute. It'll just kind of depend on how ripe your peaches are. Then we're going to move them over, and let me show you what magic happens. After you get that first batch moved out, bring your water back to a boil, put the rest of them in. Now while my second batch is, they don't really boil, while they're blanching, I guess. Let me just go ahead and show you this magic. Look at this. You see that skin? It's just literally falling off of there. So we're gonna get the skin off of all of these. This type of peach is called a freestone peach. That means it just breaks free from the stone or the pit, the seed, really easily. And I'm just going to start out cutting those in half, and then I'm going to mash them up a little bit more for my jam. And there you have it. The amount of peaches that I had was a peck. Have y'all heard that old song, I love you, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck? That's a peck, y'all, and that's a lot of love. Now we're going to chop these up however you want to do it. You can either chop it with your knife, your food processor, mash them, whatever's most easy and comfortable for you. I'm going to just whack mine and try to mash them, and if that doesn't work, we're going in the food processor. Chop those peaches up as fine as you like them. I want mine to still have some chunks in them. Now you're going to need some kind of fruit pectin. I just use the off-brand. I use the powdered fruit pectin. For each recipe, for each box, I'm going to need 3 cups of my peaches. So I'm going to measure these out, and I'm probably going to do about 3 recipes of this at one time. I'm going to just go ahead and measure my peaches into a different bowl. 3 cups for each batch. And if you're going to triple and double up recipes like I am, make sure you get a large enough bowl, because I did not. Now for each batch of peach that you do, of jam that you do, you're going to use 4 cups of sugar, just regular granulated sugar. And you're going to use 1 1/2 tablespoons of lemon juice per recipe. So if it looks like I'm doing more in here, it's because I am. Now you're just going to stir this all together. You need a big bowl because that's a lot of sugar, folks. We're going to let this set for about 10 or 15 minutes. I want that sugar to dissolve. So every once in a while, I'm just going to run by and I'm going to give it a good stir. I'm not going to stir this constantly for 15 minutes. You can if you want to, but I'm not able to do that. Some people say you can stick it in the microwave to speed the process up, heat this up a little bit. I'm not doing that either. We're just going to let it melt. Get you some containers gathered up, whatever kind you want to use. I'll use plastic, I'll use glass. Let me just show you what I'm using. I'm using an assortment. I've got these little plastic containers. I have these little jars. I have these. It's up to you. Just get those ready. While that sugar is melting, you can go ahead and get ready for your next step. For each batch, you're going to need 1 pack of your pectin and 3/4 a cup of water. You can go ahead and put that together in a pan. because you're going to be cooking it. Mix together your pectin, each box, with 3/4 a cup of water into a pan. We're going to bring that to a boil. After it comes to a rolling boil, you're going to time it for 1 minute and stop. Stir it together, of course. All right, you can see it's come to a boil, so we're going to time this for 1 minute. A rolling boil is one that when I stir it, it doesn't go away. It keeps boiling. Now I'm just going to pour that into this mixture and stir it together. And I'm going to stir it for 3 minutes. I don't like that part. To make the time go faster, you might want to get you a little taste. Just to make sure it's going to be worth it. It definitely is. Better taste it again. I'm getting tired. All right, I've been stirring for 2.5 minutes. We're just going to round up and say that was 3. It's good enough for me. We don't have to worry about these jars being hot. They just need to be clean, because they're going to be going into the freezer. They don't have to seal. Make sure you leave about 1 inch of head space, and head space is this part that's at the top, because when this freezes, it's going to expand. This is my yield for a triple batch. So you can see that's not a huge amount of freezer jam. My peaches were very expensive. They were delicious peaches, and they made a beautiful jam. This can be pretty costly if you're spending very much on your peaches. So for me, it's worth it. This will be enough to last us an entire year, maybe over into a little past that. And my family will appreciate every single bit of it. So here's what we've got when we're done. Look at that, how beautiful that is. I'm gonna leave this out on my counter just at room temperature for about 24 hours, and then I'm gonna stick it into the freezer. You can keep this in the freezer as long as it lasts, y'all. It may get a few little ice crystals on the top, but that's not gonna matter. After you take it out of the freezer, it'll keep in the refrigerator for a couple of weeks. We always stick it straight back into the freezer. I never just leave it in my fridge because I'm so afraid that I'll forget it. And this stuff is like gold. So straight back into the freezer for us. Good luck, y'all.